there, Amadiah here, and I sincerely apologize for the way that I look today. I know my hair looks atrocious. I know it looks like I just got into a fight with an electrical socket and the electrical socket won. As for makeup, I don't really wear makeup anymore since the pandemic because wearing a mask out in public, it's covering your face so you can't see the beautiful expensive makeup that I bought. So there's really no point in wearing it. Also, if you're wearing a mask and the makeup comes off on the mask, I mean, it's just a waste of makeup, you know? It's a waste of money. And not only that, I have asthma, so I'd be breathing in the makeup and that would make everything worse. So for that reason, I'm out on makeup. But I wanted to take y'all through this journey that I'm going through with actual specifics. I've seen a lot of people vlog about this, but I just haven't seen enough specifics on it. I want to give you the rundown on what to expect, what you have to go through, and what the symptoms are as well to educate you on this. And I hope it helps. So I started having really bad symptoms for years and didn't really realize I had acid reflux or anything. So it got to the point where it was getting worse and worse, to the point that at night I couldn't sleep because my chest was burning. I've been bloating, which is also, I guess, a rare symptom. I was regurgitating, meaning I was throwing up and basically swallowing it, which is really gross. I know you didn't want to hear that, but yeah, it happens. And also excessive burping. I had problems with feeling nauseated. I was more lethargic than usual. And I noticed whenever I was lifting weights that my chest was starting to hurt, and I couldn't figure out why. I started thinking I had heart problems because that does run in my family. That's how my mom passed away, unfortunately, in September 19th, 2019, about a year ago. So, I mean, it was pretty hard, but anyway, so I went and got checked out. Turns out my thyroid's not messed up. My heart's not messed up. So I decided to go to a GI doctor, and I told the GI doctor the symptoms that I was having, and he automatically was like, okay, so you're having acid reflux. We already know this. If you've gotten everything else checked out and we can't figure out what else it is, it must be that. So he puts me on PPI medication, the ones that shut off the acid production within the stomach right away. So I took those for about a month. Then I came back and told him, you know, because they seriously were not helping. The only thing it did was stop the burning that I was having, but I was feeling the pressure of the burning. So after that, he ordered what's called an endoscopy, where they go down they put you to sleep, they go down your mouth, and they're able to look at everything, like your stomach and your Z-line, the top of your small intestine, which is a good thing. Well, what he found was, these are real pictures, by the way, of my endoscopy. 4-centimeter hiatal hernia, and my Z-line, where the esophagus meets the stomach, was very inflamed. And so here's like the map too with the counts and the date that I went, which was in September. But yeah, so he found that, and he did some biopsies to make sure that I didn't have any underlying diseases causing any of this. Come to find out, I am disease-free, thank goodness. And he found a 3-centimeter hiatal hernia, which means 3 centimeters of my stomach is going into my diaphragm. And that's the reason why I've been having panic attacks. And I also found out that the symptoms of a hiatal hernia actually mimic a heart attack, which was pretty insane news. I didn't know that's what was going on. So that explained my symptoms. So the next step was to continue taking my PPI medication, see if it went well for another month. He also did a gastric emptying study to make sure that I didn't have any problems with eating, stuff like that. So also on top of that, he upped my PPI medications, which was omeprazole. I can never say the word to save my life. Please don't judge me. But he doubled my dosage throughout the day where I have to space it out, and all it did was make my symptoms kind of like, it made them go down just a little bit, but not as much. I mean, it still doesn't help, but I was also dealing with the side effects of the medication where it's making my muscles cramp. I'm way more tired and lethargic and stressed out. So I've just been kind of pacing myself and going 40 only. Also, he gave me this cool medical referral to Dr. Joseph Eliason in Grapevine, Texas, in which I'm going to go see him tomorrow, November 9th, 2020. And I am super happy for that because I am so tired of being in pain and dealing with these symptoms. But before going to the surgeon, I had to do a motility study. So a motility study is where it's a big, long probe thing, no bigger than the size of a pen. And you have to snort lidocaine as long as you want, as long as you can. It was a big tube of gel for me, and it was a big tube of gel for me, for real. And I put I kept snorting it and saying I wasn't numb whenever I was, but I just kept on going with it because I was so nervous and so scared. Well, they stuck this probe up my nose and down, and I felt like I could feel it go down. It was very uncomfortable. I gagged, I choked. I even felt the pinching of it going down. It was very, very unpleasant, and they made me swallow while it was in, and as I was swallowing, I felt the pinching, but you have to go through this before you can get the acid reflux surgery at all, because they need to make sure that they're doing the right surgery. Now, they may offer for you to just do a pH study where it's a smaller line that goes in your nose and down your throat and into your stomach, but you have to sleep with it, and it lasts 24 hours. And I heard that's way worse. So I'd rather just have one 20 minutes down my stomach versus 24 hours any day. So anyway, like I said, I'm super excited about going to the surgeon tomorrow, November 9th, 2020. Again, I repeated the dates just to make sure it's acknowledged. Also, I'm just really, really happy to see what happens. What I'm going for is Nissen fundablication, which is where they wrap your stomach 360 degrees around your esophagus, and it's supposed to last longer. It has a 95% success rate. I've done a lot of researching on the studies that they've done. The only thing is it actually has more issues right after the surgery, like dysphagia, trouble swallowing. It's got the symptoms of inability to throw up or burp, and then later on I've seen where people can throw up but not much comes out, and they can burp but little burps come out. So that's the only thing that concerns me a little bit. It's a little bit longer of a recovery, but there's also something called a Toupee Fundablication, and that is where they do a half wrap instead of a full 360 degree wrap like the Nissen fundablication. Also, I heard that the Toupee Fundablication is a lesser downtime, even though you still have incisions in your abdomen like the Nissen. I heard you're still able to throw up and burp and not as many side effects from the surgery, I guess. I mean, every single surgery comes with risk, but I'm just stating it has lesser than the Nissen. But it's also kind of a lesser percentage. I mean, it is more effective, but they're questioning the durability of it in the long run, while Nissen has been documented up to 20 years, I've seen in studies. I'm not sure if any of these last a lifetime because I haven't been able to find anything. So I'm just going off of what I've been studying basically. And so tomorrow, whenever I see the surgeon, I'm going to bring up that I want the Nissen fundablication, but we may go the other route to a Toupee. But what I'm also worried about is having to take PPI medications again, because I did see in studies that people who have had the Toupee fundablication also need their PPIs later on. but we'll get to that tomorrow and figure out what surgery I'm actually getting. There's also a surgery called the Lynx Procedure, where it's an expensive piece of jewelry that looks like a bracelet, and it's like a bracelet made of balls. You ever see those pearl necklaces, or those ones that you buy at Walmart that are just made of balls all the way around? That's basically what it looks like, and they're magnets. So what they do is they go around the esophagus, and they sit around the esophagus, so whenever you swallow, they come undone, and then whenever you're done swallowing, they come back. But I am more afraid of that, of foreign objects in my body, so I don't think I'm gonna go for that, because my body getting braces, whenever I got those, I had a reaction, and so I'm just not really a big fan of the Lynx. Plus, I've seen some lawsuits go on, but I've also seen people that it's been successful in. Also, there's something called the Toupee procedure, where it's incisionless, where they just go down your throat and operate instead of making incisions, which is cool. But it has a 75% success rate, and it hasn't been done enough and it hasn't been out that long for me to really want to do it, because I don't know if it would be great for me. Because if you get a surgery or procedure done for this, I mean, it may work good for me, but it may not work good for you. So please keep that in mind. One thing could work for somebody and not work for everybody else. I also wanted to talk about hospital stays as well. So with the Hietal Fundablication, I understand that you're in the hospital for about 1 to 2 days, depending on your pain levels and how well you handle the surgery. And they do send you home with pain medication. It is important to walk every day after surgery so you don't get blood clots and you have a faster recovery. You can usually return back to work in about a week or less, from my understanding, depending on what your job occupation is. Or also, if you're a weightlifter like me, it's going to take a long time, like 3 months, to have a real full 100% recovery. So at first you're on a liquid food diet, then you have to slowly introduce yourself into soft food diet, and then slowly introduce yourself into exercise and go from there. Now with the Toupee Fundablication, it's the same diet, liquid, soft food diet, and then also later on just getting yourself back into exercise. But also you're only in the hospital, I think, overnight, for 1 night, but it depending on what your pain level is and how you handle the surgery, it could be up to 1 to 2 nights, just like Hietal. Now with the Lynx, they send you home the same day, from my understanding, after the surgery, or they may keep you overnight. But I heard no pain medications are actually needed for that. Not sure if they send you home with any. I know with Toupee they do as well. And then the Toupee procedure, they definitely don't send you home with any pain meds. They send you home the same day. It's a quick recovery. But like I said, because the percent on success rates are so low for it so far, and it hasn't been done enough, I'm not going with that procedure. Also, I wanted to keep you informed on everything that I do on this journey, and make sure that you have all the information. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. I'll get to you as soon as I can. You will be responded to. Also, don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll be more than happy to share with you the rest of this journey. So tomorrow, whenever I go to the surgeon, I'll vlog about it afterwards and keep everybody in the loop and updated on everything, because I am hoping to help others and help them understand what to expect, and what maybe my symptoms are the same as what other people are going through, and this could help them. So that I'm really happy for, and can't wait to continue this journey with y'all.